What's going on, guys? It's William, and if you like real estate investing for passive income, then this is the channel for you. So I went out and I looked at an investment property, I took some pictures, and we're gonna go over how I look over an investment property and analyze the purchase price. So let's dive into it.
Welcome to the Smack Fest, the beatdown. The SWAT team is here on another beautiful day of shutting the week down.
And if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing because I'm making several videos per week, and I own a real estate portfolio of single-family, multifamily, and commercial properties. So here we go. This is the property here. This is the outside of the property when I pulled up, and it is not in bad shape, actually. You look at it, it's a nice brick home. It may need some paint on the trim, but so far, so good. Here we go. Okay, so here's the inside, and as you can see, we're starting to get in some wear and tear between the carpet and the doors and the walls. We're looking at like every inch of this property could need to be touched. Let's move on. Okay, so you got some DIY, do-it-yourself tape and bed job that's, well, it's terrible. I don't know what to say about that. So that whole room is basically have to be redone. Next picture, you can kind of see that the texture was just, well, somebody's first job, basically. So this whole wall, every inch of this room, I mean, is going to need to be redone. That's okay. And then somebody, I think, just wanted to lock themselves into the room. So there's a, I don't know, that's mildly disturbing. Next. Okay, so you get the bathroom. It needs to be repaired to HGTV standards or rental grade standards, but not what you're looking at there. Yeah, it needs a quick job. I budgeted on this one for bathrooms $3,000. You know, as long as the shower pan doesn't need to be replaced, I can rip out the vanity, I can replace the vanity, put a nice mirror, put a slab of paint on the wall, and do some vinyl flooring. Vinyl is very important, not laminate, because vinyl is waterproof. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is a huge crack in the slab. I verified it several times by walking over it and actually feeling it, and I could feel the edge of the concrete. Serious foundation problems in several rooms, but this one was very severe. So this is the outside of the house. I always walk the outside of the property to look at the brick. You see that it looks like a stair step. You see how it kind of looks like stairs? That is foundation problems. As you can see, this one has quite a few. Look at the very top. There's missing bricks. Like, come on. Next picture. So that's just a little bit up close. That right there is signs of major structural issues. Now, they can be remedied for a cost. Okay, so this is another picture of some of the foundation issues. I think this one's further down the wall. Yeah, look at that. I had to get it up close because that's literally missing brick. Like, wow. When bricks start to fall out of your property, you should have fixed this a long time ago, basically. Okay, so back inside. Now we're looking at the kitchen. So the kitchen, the size on it actually is actually decent. This was actually a 4-bedroom house. And it was 1,800 square feet. So realistically, you know, for a rental property, I would put vinyl floors all throughout the house because it's basically life-proof, waterproof, all that good stuff. I probably would put some of that, not the high dollar stuff, but, you know, like the silestone countertops, maybe some stainless steel appliances, you know, put a nice backsplash, and that'll pretty much do out the kitchen. You know, I think I budgeted, yeah, here it is, $8,000 for the kitchen. Yeah, I think I can get it done for that. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to HGTV it, but you know, rental grade. Next. Okay, so this is a picture of the outdoor AC unit. Now, when you look at the outdoor AC unit, you can obviously tell that it's got some age to it, but what you don't see and you need to see is behind. So here's a picture of behind the AC unit. I took a picture because I couldn't quite see it, and I zoomed in and I still can't quite see it. It's the year of manufacture date. Now, I'm sure somebody could look it up, like, you know, by serial number, something like that, you know, if they, you know, work for an HVAC company or something. But nevertheless, I'm looking for just a production date, serial date, something like that. I didn't see any of that. So being that I didn't see any of that, I can assume that it's probably at least a decade old, Could be 15, 20 years old. I don't really know. Could you budget for that? Yeah, you could budget for that. But here are the two things that I brought up in the last video that are very, very important and that you will not necessarily see in pictures, but you will notice in person. Number one is when I walked into that property, what did I notice as soon as I got 2 feet into that property? It's a smoker's property. And you'll never see that in the pictures because one, if it's a smoker's property, I know all the carpet, if any carpet in that house has got to go. All the walls probably have to be painted just because of they either have smoke built into them or they're caked with too much, so that yellow stuff, whatever that is, nicotine, tar, whatever on the wall, or both. But and also the HVAC may or may not need to be purged or cleaned because it's in the duct system as well. So that's something to be cautious of as well when you're buying properties and you don't get to go inside, because fixing a smoke-filled house to make it smell like a non-smoker's house to a non-smoker is not an easy task. I can smell somebody smoking in their car when I'm sitting at a stoplight. Okay, next one is the most important one. So on the tax roll, it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. But when I got there, it was really a 4 true bedroom, 2-bath. So what they did was they actually did a garage conversion. You would never know from the inside of the house. Like, I walked the whole house, and then when I left, I kind of scratched my head and go, there's a garage door there. I didn't even see the garage. And I'm a guy. I always like to go in the garage and kind of see what's going on, you know, right? I didn't even see a garage door, and there was no garage, so I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what happened. And I had to count the bedrooms 3 different times. I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, 1, 2, 3, and I walk over there. 4, and I was like, there's 4. Like, it says 3, and I'm like, let me confirm one more time. 1, you know, just to make sure I'm not like, you know, getting confused somehow. So there's definitely 4 bedrooms. They definitely did a garage conversion because I can't find a garage in there, and obviously I went to the left and I went to left again, and that's where the garage should be. So it was all in there. It was very nicely done. Was it permanented? I don't know. So let's go over the repairs. So this is what I put on there, right? So there could be up to 25 piers to fix this foundation. Now, I called and they wanted $280 per pier installed for the local foundation company that had like 40 reviews and they're a 5-star. Pretty reputable company, at least, you know, based off of Google reviews. So the water heater, I was in a hurry to look at this property. There were so many people that kind of ushering us through, but I heard from the water heater, somebody else's ear, another investor I was listening, said it was smashed and needs to be repaired. So I didn't even have to see it at that point. I said, water heater needs repaired, or replaced. Sorry, replaced. Don't repair a water heater, geez. Unless it's something simple. Okay, so, and then the next ones were simple stuff. Kitchen, you saw that picture. It was about $8,000, I think, to rehab it to rental grade standards. See, I'm not a flipper. I'm not a wholesaler. I buy property to rent them out. I want something as durable as possible, not too cheap, but I don't want the expensive stuff that can be damaged. I want the best bang for my buck to cash flow long term. See, I don't want to put carpet throughout because yeah, it's cheap, but you'll be doing it every other year as well, or in between tenants, and that adds up very, very quickly. So I put severe cracking in the walls. The heater does work. That's something that you can't see in pictures. When you walk through the property, it was a cold day in Texas, right? It was a cold day, and we walked through, really cold, like 51. And we walked through it, and the heater, it was nice and warm in there. So I know the heater works. It was comfortable in there. So that's good. I don't know about the AC, because ACs do give me more issues by a lot than the heaters do. So the heater works. But does the condenser work to make the AC turn on and work, and will it be reliable considering it's probably pretty old? I don't know, and you really don't know until it gets warmer and you can kick it on and you can test it, and it's one of those you just kind of either replace it or you gamble it. Typically I gamble it until it gives me issues, then I replace it. That's just me. Paint throughout, I just put $4,000. A lot of this doesn't need to be retextured. Some of it kind of looks like it might. But for the most part, it just needs to be cleaned out, somebody to go in there and just go ahead and get it all painted. It does need to be taped in bed though. I put sheetrock, $1,500, because there are some spots here and there that need to be done. A pole in the fence, there's no fence in the back at all. Like, there's an alley back there, but there's no fence at all. So I budgeted $2,000 for a fence. It was something like, oh, I'm guessing 50 feet wide, give or take, okay? You know, a 3-bedroom is the house in the width, okay, of just like a one of those like 4 foot, 5 foot, 4 foot metal fences. You know, basically keep a dog in. I was just going to put one of those in. And the reason I would go with metal and not fence, at least in this neighborhood, is because once you do it, you're done. You don't have the staining issue. You don't have it blowing over. You don't have dogs eating boards. It's metal. And hopefully, you know, it'll be there for a very long time. And because it's not real tall, it's not going to get wonky on you too, like some of these wooden fences can, especially in high wind areas or just not installed properly to begin with. So exterior paint, I put $1,000. That's for all the trim. That's for all the stuff that's not brick. I think once they power wash it, they can get in there with some rollers or some sprayers and you know, maybe, you know, bring it to this century basically. And then of course I put $5,000 in there as a miscellaneous budget. Now this $5,000 I am assuming will be used up somewhere along the lines for some thing. Like, for instance, I don't necessarily put needs 8 light bulbs, needs door handles, you see what I'm saying? Like, this list is like, would be ridiculous. I just put 5,000 miscellaneous and backup funds because I will probably use it and bank on using it, but they're my just reserve funds I put to the side for just kind of whatever comes up, because there's going to be something that comes up, believe me. So I estimated total repairs on this property to be $40,000. Now the asking price on this was $124,900. Now I just offered them $130,500 after I ran my numbers, because I determined that the ARV on this property is at least, and this is at rental grade standards, is at least $220,000. Now, once I do a cash out refi, because I'm buying it cash, once I do a cash out refinance and I pull 75% of that money back, I will effectively be in this property for $0 of my own money, and it will still be cash flowing. We're almost done. And then I ran the rents at market value and Section 8 value, and I bought it according to market value, and I'm hoping for Section 8 value once I get in the Section 8 program. As of this video, I'm looking into it. I will get involved with it probably on my next property. So market value, just the everyday market value on this property at this location is $1,750 per month. And I bought it according to my worst comps that I could find that were actual comps, you know, brick build, 4-bedroom in that area. So these are worst case scenarios, because I don't ever want to buy something and then get bit in the butt when I get downgraded on my rental comps for whatever reason. So I just go in worst case scenario. If it still works, great, because I'll probably end up getting more than that. Okay, so $1,750 is market value, and Section 8 will do $2,530 per month. So obviously, once I get it rental grade built up, I would obviously go the Section 8 value. It pays much more in the area. Some pay more in the area than market rents, some pay less, so it's definitely something you want to look into. In this case, it pays substantially more, so that would be my play if I end up getting this house. So hope you guys got some good information on this. If you like this content, consider smashing that like button, hitting the subscribe and the notification bell. I upload several videos per week, and let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this? Or if you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer you personally, and I will see you.